This one night, 50 called me up, and you know they got him on the phone. Me and him was just talking. We was talking about old time shit. You know, sit down with Black Hands, sit down with with Puff Kids, the whole Puff situation, and this documentary that he's going to be.
Diddy really screwed up, and I'm not referring to his criminal trial, which has him sitting in prison right now, but it has to do with something that happened right before he got arrested. If you've seen the Netflix documentary about Diddy, Diddy The Reckoning, which 50 Cent produced, there's some footage there that had never been seen before. This is a photographer that Diddy hired to follow him around and document his life. That footage ended up going to 50 Cent.
And maybe that's what Snoop went through, I don't know. But let the people know, because it was too early back then.
When the documentary Sean Combs' The Reckoning came out, many expected the conversation to stick to one main topic. But that wasn't the case. Soon, rumors about silence, behind-the-scenes pressure, and deleted content started circulating online, drawing attention to other big names in the industry. Social media amplified the confusion, twisting old comments and videos into sensational stories that weren't always accurate. Stripped of all the hype, the situation looks far less dramatic and is fueled more by speculation than solid facts. In this video, we'll break it all down: what was actually said, what made it into the documentary, what was left out, and which claims have been confirmed.
Audio from Suge Knight. It's from his podcast with Dave Mays, and he's speaking on, you know, Tupac and Snoop being cool, and how, you know, after Tupac got killed, Snoop started hanging out with Diddy. And, you know, he also speaks on how, you know, Snoop, he did the Steve Harvey show with Diddy after Tupac got killed. Check this out.
Okay. Let's download right now.
Then you look at the scenario how everybody used Pac to make their stuff famous or make their project better. You got people who use their songs for Pac and tell them how much they love Pac, but they do songs for Puffy. You got Steve Harvey, old bitch ass, you know, this motherfucker telling, well, fuck Pac, according to everybody else. He brings Snoop and Puffy on there and say, these are dudes who running this in the East Coast, West Coast.
What's up, Snoop? What's up, huh?
Hey, whoa, wait a minute, fellas here, hold on. You know, I know all about this East Coast, West Coast rivalry thing here, but we in Chicago now. This rivalry stuff, we gotta stop it, man. We stop that, we stop a lot of this violence.
Yo, Steve, check this, man. All that East Coast, West Coast stuff is a bunch of media hype. It's been my dog from day one, you know what I'm saying? It's all good between me and him, that's my peoples.
Real, that's what we came in for. We came in to light it up and ride it up. We making this shit happen.
Now, Pac, if you love Pac so much, how you with the motherfucker that everybody say got something to do with the first get down that happened to Pac in New York, then the second one.
What you think about Suge comments? And I never asked you this before, but did you have an issue with Snoop hanging out with Diddy after Tupac got killed?
I always felt that was wrong. I'm gonna just keep it real. I'm talking about from that. Like now, okay, you know what I mean? I'm 46, Snoop probably early 50s. If he figured out now, he might go by the opinion like, okay, Puffy had nothing to do with Pac. You know, we grown now. If he want to be his friend, no problem. But back then, that was just awkward. You know what I mean? And the reason why it was awkward to me that I never even like it because you knew how Pac felt about this individual. You know what I mean? Even if you don't agree with him, you probably could have said, you know what, I probably ain't gonna come out, you know, publicly with this because until things clear up. So I really know I could be certain that, you know, they didn't have nothing to do with Pac. But it's like, it was no, you know, okay, it is what it is. So that I never really respected that back then.
So you had an issue with it, you didn't like it?
Never really liked it. It just was a strange look because you was Pac boy. You know what I mean? Puffy, you know, it's clear they had some issues with Pac. And Pac died, and all of a sudden you chilling with Puffy. Back then it just, okay, now you can say what you want. You go all grandfathers, I guess. You know what I mean? That's different now. But back then I think it was weird. It was tasteless. You know what I mean? It didn't seem like you really had that much love for Pac. You could have just, you know what I mean? Unless he pressured them or like questioned Puffy, like, yo, what's up with this? What's up with that? then you could say, you know what I mean?
Snoop Dogg's name began circulating online, tied to serious accusations. But it's important to note he was never mentioned in any court documents, indictments, or federal charges linked to Diddy's case. His decades-long presence in the music industry and the fact that he moved in overlapping circles with others involved was enough for some to cast suspicion. After the documentary was released, a former bodyguard hinted that not everything made it into the final cut. This fueled claims that certain names, facts, and footage were deliberately left out. Social media quickly took old videos, jail interviews, and unverified reports and turned them into evidence of wrongdoing. In reality, none of this proves misconduct. It simply shows that Snoop Dogg worked in the same industry at the same time as others under scrutiny.
Like, I believe somebody mentioned that they seen a video with me and the dude Prodigy or one of the dudes from ID, as if I was with, they don't know the backdrop of that. I went to his hotel room ready to fight. Like, bro, I'll fight everybody in that room one-on-one. Even if I lose, it doesn't matter. The Outlaws was with me. My homie Tiny, the Mexican homie, was with me. I didn't go there and say, let me get in a video with these guys. I went there knocking on their door, doom, 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 tell them dudes to come out. What's up with y'all? What's up with you and Pop? You got a problem with Pop? Because we could just fight like man to man, face to face, and then shake hands. That was my approach with them. But when they told me they didn't have no problem, I don't mind being with you. You know what I mean? I don't mind shaking your hand because they told me they had love for Pop. So that's different, you know what I mean? If you come out and say, well, I already, I questioned Puffy about it. I believe that he didn't, he loved Pop. That's my opinion. I can move the way I want to move. So when people try to, I noticed somebody, I think on your page do that. Well, Napoleon was in the video with Mobb Deep. They don't know how I got in that video with Mobb Deep, you know what I mean? I pulled up on him but I'm the type of person, I never been a bully type of person. You know what I mean? If I talk to a person like a man and they tell me face to face, look, I got love for Pop, I'm comfortable to know if I can look in their eyes and if I believe what they said, I have the right to say, okay, no problem, I believe you. You know what I mean? And maybe that's what Snoop went through, I don't know. But let the people know, because it was too early back then. Pop just had died. You know what I mean? Like, he had the right to say, the reason why I'm rolling with Puffy, I questioned him about my homie, he gave me this answer. So then he did what he had to do, but it just, you know what I mean? I never really agree with that, to be honest. The same way I couldn't be on the stage with him when they wanted to do that tribute.
The real danger comes when stories drift away from the facts. That's when suspicion can take over and mere association is mistaken for proof. The documentary wasn't meant to critique the entire music industry. It focused on one individual, tracking his rise, the power structures around him, and the actions that led to his conviction and a 50-month prison sentence. Everything highlighted in the film was based on confirmed reports and well-documented trends, all grounded in the legal system. It didn't accuse anyone else without evidence, nor did it imply that others had committed crimes. The filmmakers have consistently maintained that the content included was fully verified and legally supported. Any claims that information was deliberately left out to protect someone remain unproven.
Thinking he was going to come out triumphant.
Yeah, I didn't know that's how this started, is he started filming himself and getting this footage because he thought he was going to beat everything. Okay,
Diddy
that makes sense. Okay.
Has a relationship
with Netflix. I knew that.
With
Ted Sarandis. I saw that. Yes. Okay.
And he's filming it there, but of course, when you get, obviously it wasn't a clean sweep on the prosecutor's side, but you're still going to prison.
Yeah.
He basically kind of scraps it. It's not also Netflix is saying, because they commissioned it, right? Netflix is saying, all right, cool, just turn over what you got, and what we'll do, we'll make it what it is, because we're just following reality. Diddy's like, well, hold on now. If I lost the case, I'm down to still do it with you, but I got to be able to control it. Now, Diddy was probably going to kind of shape this doc to make it look like, hey, this was malicious prosecution. They kind of went really hard at me. Mm-hmm. I'm not a perfect guy, but I am a good guy.
Yeah.
And Diddy was like, I need to be able to craft it. And Netflix was like, no, you're not. And he's like,
well, my question is, did he sign the footage over to Netflix so they own it? Like, how were they able to do this without his?
No, but he didn't pay for it. So essentially, they're calling it a payment error. So essentially, the deal falls apart, or he's like, yo, we're not going to do this.
So awkward.
And the people who did the work that have all this footage, they're like, so wait, you told us to film because this is going to be on Netflix. Now you're saying Netflix doesn't exist and we're not getting paid because Diddy was going to pay with Netflix money. And Netflix realized this and they went to the filmers and said, hey.
If anything, the documentary showed restraint in an age of shock-driven media. It left out names and limited details, even when they were supported by documents or reliable evidence. Because of this cautious approach, rumors about hidden footage kept spreading, but they don't hold up. There are no court records linking Snoop Dogg, no verified videos, and no investigators have named him as a person under scrutiny. After the documentary's release, Snoop Dogg openly supported 50 Cent, showing no sign of conflict. The idea that he was afraid or trying to avoid trouble doesn't hold water. Public support rarely comes from someone worried about potential consequences.
Through the prism of a modern-day rhetorical genius. A modern-day rhetorical genius. We're talking about the one, the great, the 50 Cent. All right, this guy's skill at rhetoric is absolutely next level. And this totally ties in with, you know, how he famously is a big fan of Sun Tzu, The Art of War. Now, rhetoric with a capital R, I can just give you the definition of that. That's basically public speech, particularly public speech that is to persuade. Any persuasive public speech is rhetoric, right? Now, we kind of break that down into two subcategories of rhetoric with a lowercase r and dialectic. Rhetoric is essentially everything else, and really what moves the needle with like 97% of people and 100% of groups, okay, is in fact rhetoric with the lowercase r. So again, stuff like this, 50 Cent is an absolute master of. Basically, you know, he dropped this doc, this Sean Puffy Combs doc, and it's just kind of set the internet on fire. It's beating out Stranger Things. Like, it's a wild ride to watch, right? And one of the things that he does is he breaks down Diddy's...
One of the most widely shared claims came from someone saying they had flash drives linked to a now deceased public figure, suggesting these drives contained private information about well-known people. Online speculation quickly filled in the blanks, attaching names like Snoop Dogg without checking the facts first. Authorities have never confirmed what was on these drives, and the family has publicly denied their authenticity. There are no verified records, videos, or illegal files that mention Snoop Dogg. Still, guesses turned into assumptions. Even without evidence, rumors became headlines, and headlines morphed into widely accepted stories. It's important to remember, unverified content is not proof of wrongdoing. As of December 2025, there's no evidence that Snoop Dogg has been questioned, investigated, or involved in any legal proceedings.
Pac, and they don't Suge. So allegedly, they got paid $500,000. The $500,000 was paid to the guy on the right, all the way to the right. You see the guy on the right? Corey. He's the one allegedly that got the $500,000. And that money never went to Kefidi or anybody else. The guy on the left is the one that stole the chain, the chain, which was a Death Row Records chain. That's a way of saying I got your rapper's chain. Because if you were one of the guys, Death Row. So long story short, this whole thing is a recording that he said this. So what does Diddy do? Rob, can you pull up this song? It's a song called Black Rob, featuring Mark Curry and Mario Winans. If you can just type in lyrics, okay? So he gets $1 million. Can you go to the lyrics? And Diddy's in the lyrics when he gets started. Go a little bit lower. Boom. Can you type in the word in there, Rob? Nice guy. Type Control F, nice guy. Okay, right there. Look at it's 1999. No more Mr. Nice Guy. Been nice too long. I'm just gonna start making y'all
blank
disappear. Man, first I'm gonna take your records off the radio. Then I'm gonna erase your social security number. Take your birth certificate out flies. I'm gonna do your whole effing family. Ain't nothing but mercy. And then, by the way, in the lyrics he says, I'll drop $1 million on your head to erase you. Can you type in I'll drop $1 million? Just put Control F. Just go to Google and type this out. I'll drop $1 million on your head. I'll drop $1 million on your head, and just put Diddy next to it. Right there. See, it says Black Rob. What song came up? I'll drop $1 million on your head. Erase you and your whole family, biatch.
Wow.
He's saying it in the song on what he did to get rid of...
Over the years, Suge Knight has repeatedly mentioned Snoop Dogg in connection with various claims. Similarly, Dogg has accused Tupac Shakur of disloyalty and involvement in events surrounding his death. Whenever the music industry faces new investigations, these old allegations tend to resurface. But it's important to note, these claims are not new, and none of them have ever been proven. Many originated from high-profile interviews conducted while Suge Knight was in prison, which drew attention because of their controversial nature. Snoop Dogg has consistently denied the allegations, calling them false and driven by personal grudges and long-standing rivalries. Crucially, law enforcement has never charged him or even identified him as a suspect in Tupac's murder, despite decades of investigation.
Family. He vowed down that it's like, yo, I ain't never f***ing with her again, and I ain't never f***ing with him again. Puff and Suge had a conversation behind the House of Blues about was we all right, and Tupac was alive. Tupac wasn't dead. So if it was a war, Suge ain't having no conversation with Puff about we good. I know he could be doing a Hoboken hustle, trying to fool him, brother. But had he killed my man or some like that, I wouldn't have no conversation with Puff. I'd been like, yo, you know what y'all niggas done? You know what happened? And it wasn't no conversation like that, brother. It wasn't no conversation whereas that, Suge made Puff feel like I'm gonna get you a payback for what happened to Jake. This was more so that Puff, for whatever reason, Suge, for whatever reason he was mad at Puff, and Puff, for whatever reason he was mad at Suge, it was between them two. It wasn't no whole East Coast wanted the West Coast dead, and the West Coast wanted East Coast to dead, because they still was going out, still chilling, still at places with each other. It was Bad Boy, and it was Death Row. It wasn't no East Coast and no West Coast. West Coast dudes were still coming out on the East Coast getting love. East Coast niggas was still going out on the West Coast getting love. It was Bad Boy versus Death Row. And that's what it was, bro. And it was because of the two CEOs. But Suge tried to straighten it out. I gotta get at the Suge. The Death Row East Coast, the Death Row East was going to bring in Eric B. It was going to bring in Big D. And those brothers was from the East Coast. So now, they was looking for a representative to come to the meeting from Bad Boy. so they could straighten out the between Pac and Big and Death Row and Bad Boy. And Puff is the one who refused. Puff is the one to refuse to send a representative or either come himself. And got mad at zipping them because they were in the Mirage on 57th Street partying with Suge Knight. Got mad at them. And